What's up, everyone? It's Otaku Tavern back at you with another video, another walk with Luke. Been a little while since I've done one of these. It's just been so hot, but here we are. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, click the bell notification so that you do not miss a video. And without further ado, we'll get into this. So what I want to talk about today is you truly have to love yourself and be happy with your own company, because no one is going to do it for you. Now, we live in a world where, the world rewards evil people, and the good, the ones who are trying to make an effort and bringing about kindness or whatever it is, they are unjustly rejected. They are left without love, care, any kind of thing, joy. A lot of them are left with a lot of stuff without this, because these people do not do the same things as the other people that are evil doing. Like, I've seen people, I watched this case about this girl. She purposely did it on purpose, crashed her car. It deleted her boyfriend, deleted his friend, was happy about it, and to top it all off, she got charged with murder. They found out she did it on purpose, and she went to jail, right? This girl's name was like Mackenzie something. She was sitting there in a phone call with her parent, like her mother, and they were just bragging about how, they're going to be famous, and, they're going to be on TV, and, just all this kind of stuff. Not even really caring about that this woman deleted 2 people on purpose. It's amazing that she even made it out of the crash, to be honest. But she deleted these people, and when the mother of the boyfriend was told that her son is now deceased, that was very, very hard to watch. Because, this woman, she was, oh my gosh, she was getting hysterical. She started screaming at the top of her lungs. And the police couldn't even calm this woman down. It was bad. And, pretty much a spit in that woman's face. But this people, the chick that deleted them, they got their own Netflix documentary called Car Crash, right? And literally got famous, basically, for doing this. And, like I said, the world, it rewards evil people. It doesn't reward those who are of good. As a matter of fact, if you have anything good about you, you will be punished, as a matter of fact. And, because this system, that's the way that it's designed. If you don't conform, if you don't do all of that, that's the way that it goes. And you really genuinely, as a person, if you're an outcast and an otaku, right? You really have to be happy in your own company. You have to be satisfied within your own company. It is thundering out here. I hope it does not storm. But you really do have to be happy within your own company, because more than likely, you're not going to have anybody. I've met many people and I'm going to tell you this now, a true, genuine, otaku, bro, they don't have a massive friend circle. These ones that do, they're not real genuine otakus. I can tell you this now. They may watch anime maybe casually, or They may game occasionally or rarely, whatever, but these people are not one of us. But not really what I was wanting to talk about. But anyway, you know, a person, like, I've talked to a few people. You know, I have a couple of buddies. There's one girl I know. She's my best friend. She's in the same boat as I am. Doesn't have, I'm her only friend. I mean, she's satisfied at being that way, but, you know, because that's kind of how you have to be. If you're able to meet one person and they will stick with you, stop searching. You found what you were looking for. Stop searching. But, you know, most people, they can't even get that. And, like, as far as these types of people go, because take, like, now I've been through 2 separate disasters that I can recall. And, you know, the first one was an ice storm back in the 2000s, right? It was a historic ice storm, and I mean, it was bad. The power was out for like about a month. You know, it was freezing cold. I mean, it was teens, like single digits, even in the negatives, right? Like, it was pretty bad. You know, back where I lived at the time, you know, you could just hear constant cracking because the trees were weighed down by all that ice, and they just collapsed. And, you know, like when this happened, you know, the whole, like, a lot of the people in the town, it was even on the radio, oh, such and such is a friendly town. Great community, helping everybody. It's like, you know, I didn't get any help. I could have froze to death in there and nobody would have noticed. No, that is not how that works. You know, I'll tell you this, people who are poor, people who are outcast, people who are maybe disabled, people who, you know, don't know a lot of people, they don't get involved with crowds, or they don't have a certain status. No, there was no help for these people. And the same thing can be said, definitely double that, when I went through a historic EF4 tornado. Now, that was bad. I'm going to tell you now, that is some of the most intense greed I've ever seen. Like, you think, like a lot of these game companies are greedy, or a lot of these other companies are greedy. Bro, I'm going to tell you, these companies don't have nothing on what that I saw, like, during this time in my life. And it really, really opened my eyes to a lot of things, because, you know, once you see things, you can't unsee it. Once you see the truth for what it is, that's it. And, you know, I mean, I'm not going to say that I wasn't helped at all, because that would have been a lie. But it was the bare minimum. I could tell a lot of the people that were trying to push in, you know, to certain things and stuff, they really, really didn't want to do it. You know, you could just really tell, you know, like a lot of donations had came over, and, you know, it's like they were being really greedy with that. Like, as a matter of fact, one time I went to a place to get some shampoo and like essentials that I needed, and he told me not to come back. He said, you got too much, not to come back. And kid you not, this place, I mean, they had so much donations that it was not even funny. Like, you could barely walk. Like, that's how much donations they had. And there were people that got way more than me of a certain type of good status, and nobody said anything to them. So it was because I wasn't in the clique, I wasn't of the status, right? But, you know, this world rewards people with evil intent or not so good intentions. If you got good intentions, you know, it's not going to really reward you. God will reward you, but this world won't. And you know, you really do take passion in your hobby, whether it's anime, gaming. You know, that's what we talk about here, so that's why I mentioned it. But you really got to, you know, be content with this stuff. And I'm not saying that be content without human connection. Obviously, that's impossible. But you do have to come to terms into the fact that you may not receive any human connection. You know, because unless it's like just BS small talk. And everybody that watches this channel knows I stay clear away from small talk. It's absolutely pointless. It's meaningless. It's worthless. You're not building any friendships that way. You're not building any rapport with anybody that way. A hi and bye means nothing. So, yeah, but you have to learn, another thing too, you have to learn to be comfortable with yourself, because a lot of these people, they're going to let you down. Not only will they let you down, but they're going to show you some very, very dark, evil stuff. A lot of these people will. You know, whether it's narcissism, covert narcissism, breadcrumbing, anything I've talked about. Like, you got to be really on guard at 24/7. Like, kind of like sleep with one eye open, right? You got to have that mindset everywhere you go. Everyone you talk to, every waking moment of your life, that's how you got to be, because the moment you let it down, that's going to be the moment you get screwed over. That's going to be the moment that you start to feel intense pain because of somebody. And, you know, it's just, it sucks, man. It sucks. But this is 2026. It's not the 90s or other good times, you know. But I'm not saying there's no good times in 2026, by the way. I have a lot of good times gaming and watching anime and stuff. But, you know, and, you know, I even have a buddy. I've been playing Dying Light with him. And, you know, I was talking to him about it, and, you know, this guy don't have anybody. You know, he doesn't have anybody, you know, not family related, that are anyone he can consider a friend. And I'm obviously talking about offline. I'm not talking about online. And, you know, he even told me he don't even really have a lot of the stuff online, right? So, you know, it's brutal. But you really got to be comfortable with yourself. You got to love yourself, right? Now, I don't mean that to be in a selfish, pathetic, needy way, you know, like society promotes, right? But you get the picture. So anyway, you know, another thing too is, like, if these people don't have the same hobbies as you and stuff, it's never going to work. Like, it's just never going. But that's not really a true friend, because there's nothing really to bond over, you know, because here's the thing, if certain individuals come from different worlds, it's very, very less likely you're going to bond with them. because human beings are wired to relate to what they can relate to. And if you're not from the same worlds, you can't relate. You know, I say this all the time, and people may get mad at it, but it's the truth. It is the truth. You know, that's like saying like an atheist is going to be friends with someone who talks about Jesus all the time. That's bullcrap. That's not going to happen, because, you know, it's going to be in constant strife, constant argument. You know, neither one of them is going to understand each other, you know, because they have two different belief systems, probably different hobbies as well. So it's like, you know, that's just an example. I mean, I could give many. But another one is like, try being an otaku and try to be friends with a non-otaku, right? It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work, because, you know, you're wanting to talk about, you know, whether it's power levels, power scaling, anime characters, waifus, anime games, you know, gaming. They're not gonna want to talk about it, because they do not like the same thing as you. And they will, more than likely, these people will try to belittle you and all of that. So you really gotta love yourself. You gotta watch out for yourself and keep your guard up, because if you don't, then you're in trouble. But anyway, that's been it for this video. So yeah, anyway, like and subscribe, or don't, I mean, but, yeah, anyway, I'll catch you all next time. Peace.